Hello friends, this is Bright here. In the last video we are discussing about the unary operators overloading. For example, a plus plus, that is post increment or pre increment, then plus a, minus a, like that. So in this video we are going to see the concept about binary operator overloading. So let us quickly see this example which gives an overview about why do we need this binary operator overloading. So here we have the class, its name is A, and after the class we can see there are two objects OB1 and OB2, and later in the second block you can see OB1 plus OB2. It is not a normal operation because normally plus can be applied only for numerical data, where OB1 and OB2 are not numerical data. These all are objects for the class A. So here the plus operator doesn't know about how to do it. So we have to provide that extra meaning to the plus operator by overloading that plus operator. Overloading in the sense, actually it has a defined role, that is to add two numerical data. But if we wanted to add two objects, we have to provide that extra meaning to that plus. So how it can be implemented in C++, we are going to see right now. So here I am going to use the NetBeans IDE as my IDE. So here let me create that class called a very simple class, and in the private I am going to declare some variable called data, and in public I am going to initialize what is data. For that a int my data, then the my data we have to give to data for the data of my data. So this is the constructor to initialize our attribute data. Now I am going to create two objects, OB1 and OB2, where OB1 with initial value as 5 and OB2 its data value as 10. And now we are going to add these two objects, OB1 plus OB2. It is a binary expression because we have two operands with one operator, so it is a binary expression. So now we need to provide extra meaning for this binary operator, which is called binary operator overloading. So how it can be done? So for that, again the same syntax what we applied for unary operator overloading, some return type. So let us go ahead with the void. We will see what is the importance of void and non-void little later. So void, the function name must be operator, that is a keyword, and followed by which operator you want to overload, that is we want to give extra meaning for plus. So put that plus, then set of parentheses and set of braces. And you should know when this function will be automatically invoked by this expression. This is not completed, the code is not at all completed. So when this expression is evaluated, it is equivalent to OB1 dot operator plus then OB2 will be passed as an argument. Like this, that method will be, that operator overloading function should be invoked. This is equivalent to, we have the expression that OB1 plus OB2. This expression is equivalent to OB1 dot, that is what is the left hand operand, that object dot, then the operator overloading function name, that is operator plus, then OB2 will be passed as an argument. Now, so we have that method here, operator plus. To receive that OB2, we have to declare some variable, let it be OB. And what is the type of OB2? OB2 belongs to A, of type A. So we can say that A, like this. So now we are going to check whether this method is invoked when this line is getting executed or not. For that, I am just testing with cout. We will say that binary operator plus is overloaded. That's all. So let us run the code now. We can see in the output we are getting the expected thing, that is binary operator is overloaded. So when this line is executed, we can see that OB1, this void operator plus AOB, this method is invoked. If we want, we can comment this and this one you can execute. Same, I'll show you that. We can see that same, both are same, OB1 dot operator plus of OB2, but we are not going to use this one. So I'm commenting this part. We are going to focus only on OB1 plus OB2, like this type of expression. Now, what does this OB1 plus OB2 mean? We expect that OB1's data value, that is 5, has to be added with OB2's 10. So like that we can define some meaningful operation inside this method. So how can we do it? So here we can say this is the equivalent expression. So the OB1 is the invoking object. OB1 is the invoking object. So the invoking object's data, that is 5, I can directly take it like this, data, that, so this data means our OB1's data, that plus, and OB2's data is passed as an argument to OB. So OB dot data, and now we can store it in a sum variable, because the data contains 10 and OB dot data contains, data contains 5 and OB dot data contains 10. So integer plus integer, it gives another integer, int sum equal data plus OB dot data. Now finally we can display what is the resultant, cout sum n. So I'm going to run the code again, and we can see that we are getting the expected output as 15. And here you can see that OB1 plus OB2, normally whenever you add, you will store the data in some variable, for example result here itself. Then, so we expect these two attributes data should be added, and the resultant 15, that is 5 plus 10, 15, it should be stored here. So for that, you know that when this expression is executed, this method will be executed. So rather than displaying sum here, what we can do is we can return this sum, so that sum will be assigned to result. So result must be an integer. Hope that you are able to follow me. So OB1 plus OB2 is giving that integer, that is, it is returning the sum. So here we cannot go with now void, we have to go with int. So what does it return? So now we have this return statement and all. Now we can display here cout, the result is result, end of the line. So here this line is not needed. because we are displaying the sum in the main method. So let us run the code, and you can see we are getting the expected output. The result is 15. So let us quickly go through the code once again. When you say OB1 plus OB2, this expression is equivalent to OB1 dot operator plus of OB2, where OB1 is the invoking object, and OB2 will be passed as an argument to this OB, and the invoking object OB1, its data we can directly take it, that is data, and OB2 reference is available in OB. Now we can say that OB dot data. So we are passing, so OB contains the data, so OB2 dot data. It is again, you can see that it is equivalent to A OB equal OB2. The copy constructor will be invoked. So whatever OB2 has, it is copied to now OB, and the data is accessed here. So this is about overloading binary operator plus. Thank you for watching this.